Well, we were in a bus. We were in our tour bus, and Esham launched a bottle at our truck.
What?
Yeah, he launched a bottle at our bus, and then it just got crazy.
Who was the first person to respond to like what
Oh
happened?
man, everybody got out of the it was he, the bottle got launched, and it just and so we was selling, because we was making some pretty good money on that tour, and we were only on 4 shows, and when you back then or even now, you get a deposit, you don't want to return that deposit back, especially when you on a tour. So we was like, let's cool it, but Esham, he launched that bottle.
Yeah, it's terrible. Yeah, when he talked about it here, he pretty much was saying like it was a bunch of people versus just him, and there was no way out for him. Like he just had to take what they brought, unfortunately, which just sucks because like you're saying it didn't need to be that way, right?
Now I watched some of that interview, but Esham got a get back though. Did he tell you the get back story?
No.
Well, we were in LA, and it was me, Proof. Esham can validate this. It was me, Proof, Obi Trice, and Obi's brother, who was his manager, Terry Wilson. We at the Coyote Ugly in LA. The Money Strip. We walking, and you know what? We having so much fun. Proof and me, and I was at fault for it, because my partner when I was managing D12, Rico Shelton, he was at the hotel, and we was like, you know what, we just gonna have some drinks. We had did a lot. We was filming a video, and we just was gonna hang out. So we went to Coyote Ugly, which was like half mile from our hotel. We walking back, all of a sudden, Proof get punched in the crowd, and the crowd it's on a major LA street. I can't think of the name of it. Esham comes and punched Proof, and then it's 15 Mexicans. What? Maybe 10. We got rushed. I mean, it was a fight, and it was like, that's the one where it was Nadis, Esham, and it was some Mexican dudes. And I got my jaw rocked. I mean, we all stood up. We were like, but it was a fight. And it was just so crazy.
How come nobody's ever told this story? Like, how come?
Well, that's why I'm here. No, this is factual. God. You could, this is factual. And it was so crazy, and it was like, man, Nadis, Obi like smashed the glass. It was a fight. I mean, but it was only like 4 against. It was a lot of people. But I guess Esham, somebody seen us at Coyote Ugly, and Esham. It was so crazy because we all the way in LA. And it was like, bam, and it's like, yeah, you know what? Proof hated that Warp thing. All the members of D12 hated that because, we were all friends and fam. So we hated that. And then when he rushed us in LA, it was bad. And, right before Proof died, Esham, like, man, he was a real man. I with Esham. I really like Esham.
Yeah, they said that they squashed the whole thing.
Yeah, they squashed the whole thing. It was it was like a few months before Proof
was
died.
The way that people described the Warped Tour incident like valid, where it was just like they seen Esham and they were upset because he had said stuff about Eminem and then they just attacked him? Or like,
no, it was a pissing match. It was like, it was a pissing match because, Esham kind of felt a certain way, and I see kind of, I could, if I go into mine, and I'm not a psychiatrist, but I could see Esham was putting the game for like 10 years hard. I kind of felt some vibes because that was only the 4th day of the tour with that Kevin Lyman's tour. So I kind of was like, it just was like, man, it's going to be, this is going to get crazy. Cause like, Warped is like an open community. It's like that was one of our first festivals, and it's like, so you backstage, it's like 20 artists there, and it's like, oh shit. So I called his record label because the people with him, they were like, it wasn't no talking up. So I called and I was like, look, this is gonna happen. I was like, look, we need to calm stuff down. The guy who called, and this wasn't Esham or his brother. They were like, oh man, they called and like laughed like, ah ha 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 ha, yeah, right,
Like they didn't think anything was. They didn't think
anything was happening. But see, they were still in Detroit.
No,
and they were like they weren't Esham company. It was Overture Records. I think that was it. And they was like, they were some older gentlemen, but I'm like got my boots on the ground. I'm at the place and I know some shit is gonna happen.
It sucks that you were friends with everybody, and it's like you have to deal with all of it colliding at that moment. That's difficult.
It was, and Proof is he is a very compassionate person.
Yeah.
And so when he would be like, when it's 4 a.m. and we just sitting there talking and we just having drinks and shit, cause he's like, man, I hate this shit because Proof is always about Detroit, because the name Proof comes from, he was like, it's proof that there's talent in Detroit. That was one of his things why he was Proof. So for him to he wanted to bring the whole city up. So he hated it, all of that shit, man.
When we're talking about, I want to get to before Eminem gets signed, before D12 even comes into existence. What is the start of you realizing D12 is about to form?
Well, no, it was like every member. Well, you had the Nine and Vaughn. They were the brigade. So every other person is a solo artist because everybody had their dreams about being a man. So it was like they were all hanging together, and they was like, you know what, we just need to form a group. It was like we need to form like a superhero team. Let's form them. What's that, Marvel Avengers? Yeah. So. That was it. Like, okay, we all talented, but we just want to have a home base.
Yes, and so Proof, I know, he's the starting point of D12.
Yeah, well, it was he was an organizer because and all of them had alias. So you had Proof was Dirty Harry, Eminem was Slim Shady. So all of them had alias. So that's how it was 12. So and then unfortunately the original group members, some left because it was like maybe 8 or 9 of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you remember who they were?
It was IQ. It was, I'm gonna get in trouble. It was IQ, and it was probably one more I don't remember. I mean, I don't think of their name. I know them, but Bugz was in it, and that's when Bugz when M said he was gonna sign D12, it was Bugz, Bizarre, Conniver, Vaughn, and Proof. And then at M, that was 12. But then it was right 2 weeks, M was coming home because he was on a tour. He was on his first tour. M was about to do this big show. I remember this like back of my hand. He was about to do a big show on Sunday, and Friday Bugz get killed.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and so when he died, that was just, man, that was horrible because Bugz was a great brother. But then, then that's when we brought in Swift. It wasn't to replace him. It was just like, D12 was like, he was in the crew, but Swift had his own thing going at the time. But
what do you mean he got killed over a water gun?
Yeah, it was how back then, how Belle Isle used to be packed. It used to be like a club, and so he was like just. It was one of them senior days, and Bugz was a little bit older, and it was just a water gun. It was it made the national, not national, but it made all the newspapers and the TV here, and it was like somebody had he had squirted a girl, and it was all in fun. It wasn't like he was just doing this. It was just some fun shit, and I believe her cousin came back, and the guy shot, and Belle Isle was so packed in that and he got caught probably 100 yards away or something, or I don't it was that raw emotion that happens nowadays too. But
let's get real. You don't know what the hell you're doing as an artist. You have all the talent, a little clout, but no motion. That's because you don't know what the hell you're doing. I know it's harsh, but it's true. That's why we developed the Artist X strategy. It includes one-on-one sessions with hip-hop and entertainment moguls that will walk you through this hurricane we call the entertainment industry. You can receive coaching, music and social media analysis, and networking opportunities. Message kid.l.video on Instagram to learn more. Guys, stop traveling in the wrong direction. With an in-depth analysis, one turn can literally turn your career around.